Binance, the world's biggest crypto exchange, is struggling to restore trust after a surge in customer withdrawals and a sharp decline in the value of its digital token. Moreover, a new case accusing Binance of breaking securities laws by allowing trades in Terra USD, a collapsed stablecoin, is in danger because of a class action defense. Let's take a look at this developing story and what it may mean for investors going forward. Hello and welcome to CoinEngine. Before we begin, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell for more amazing content. Now, let's get this video started. US class action was filed. When the Binance US class action was filed last June, it was cleverly set up to avoid the jurisdictional problems that had ruined a previous class action against Binance's parent company, which is based in Malta, by saying that Binance US was operating illegally as an unregistered US exchange. Plaintiffs' lawyers from the firm, then known as Roche Friedman, hoped to shut down defense arguments that US securities laws do not apply to trades on the platform. Either way, the firm's name has changed to Friedman Norman Friedland since the departure of a name partner whose boasts about filing investor class actions to hurt competitors of a crypto company in which he had a financial stake secretly recorded. US Court, or American Arbitration Association, but before Friedman Norman can test its theory that Binance US is an unregistered securities exchange, it has to convince US District Judge Jacqueline Scott Corley of San Francisco that the Binance class action belongs in court, not in an arbitration proceeding at the American Arbitration Association. In November, Binance's defense counsel from Honolulu and Parks moved to make the court-appointed lead plaintiff, a North Dakota orthodontist and crypto investor named Mitchell Nuveen, take his claims to arbitration. Honolulu used arguments that lawyers on both sides of the class action bar will know. Binance said that in order for Nuveen to use the Binance US platform, it had to agree to terms of service that included an arbitration clause. This clause, in turn, added rules that give the arbitrator control over threshold disputes about whether or not the case can be taken to arbitration. Binance says that, at the very least, Nuveen's case should be dismissed so that an arbitrator can decide whether his claims should be heard by the AAA or in court. Binance defense counsel's claim. Binance told the US district judge that Nuveen agreed to these terms on its own, so the agreement can't be called procedurally unfair, even if the arbitration agreement is so unfair that it can't be enforced, which Binance strongly denied. Only an arbitrator can make that decision, Binance said. The details of Binance's arguments about the procedural and substantive fairness of both the delegation clause and the agreement itself are a lot more complicated than what we've told you here, but you get the idea. How Friedman Norman opposed. Friedman Norman filed its brief against Binance's motion to force arbitration. The main point of the brief was that Binance hadn't shown any proof that Nuveen actually saw or agreed to the arbitration clause. It also said that just referring to AAA's complicated rules for sending threshold questions to arbitration isn't fair in a unilaterally imposed contract with an unsophisticated consumer. If a customer reads all of the different versions of the AAO rules and figures out which one applies and whether it has a delegation clause, his or her only choice is to accept delegation or refuse to do business with Binance US, the Friedman Norman filing argued. Friedman Norman argues that the arbitration agreement is fundamentally unfair to consumers because, among other things, it set up a complicated process for consumers to file complaints, give notices, and go to arbitration while still giving Binance the option to go to court. Similar case against Coinbase Incorporated in a consumer class action against Coinbase Incorporated last year. US District Judge William Alsup of San Francisco refused to force arbitration. He said that the agreement was unfair because it put unilateral conditions on Coinbase users. Since then, Coinbase has convinced the Supreme Court to decide if the original class action should be put on hold while the company appeals to Alsup's decision on arbitrability. But Friedman Norman said that Alsup's conclusions about arbitrability should still apply to Binance's provision, given that the plaintiff's initial complaint included charges that the arbitration agreement was unenforceable. the crypto platform would most likely seek to compel arbitration at first. The amended complaint, filed in October, strengthened those arguments. Obviously, Binance wasn't scared away by the preemptive attack on its arbitration agreement. So now we'll see if its old-school defense holds up. That was it for today's video. What are your thoughts on the video? Tell us in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your time. We'll see you later.